So the second team we'll be discussing today is the runners-up last year, which is Sunrisers Hyderabad. We've already discussed the champions. Sunrisers Hyderabad spent a good amount of money on their retentions, which included three foreigners. Their bowling was there was their bowling did have quite a big hole to fill, and again, one more issue being that having retained three foreigners and two Indians, they obviously had to fill up five Indians there, which is another concern about their retention policy. I think if you look at the team that they've arranged, and they've spent a huge amount of money on their first 7, 8 players, but at the end they've got a decent side. You can't turn up and say that you can see them struggling as the tournament moves on. I think they've got the large majority of their players at good prices, but they've made some decent buys at on the lower side. Uh, is their Indian batting a concern? Well, may to a large extent, no. But yeah, if you want to micro look at it you want to analyze it deeply. Yes, they are lacking an extra Indian batter whom they would want to play down the order in case of a collapse. Yes, there is an issue there. Uh, their pace bowling also is beyond two or three players. It's a bit thin, but again, I think Hyderabad, their core is strong enough to overcome these weaknesses, and they have options for all situations. Uh, but but again, it's I think the bowling is not something that would concern me so much because the impact player rule, which allows bowlers those overs to get covered. But yes, I think the absence of an extra Indian batter of the 1 to 6 is fine, but whoever comes in at 7, that could be a cause of concern. So if I have to look at a playing 11 and an impact player, Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, that is pretty well known, the best opening pair of last year, and that looks done and dusted. Two guys who made a huge impact throughout the season last year, very much defined the way Hyderabad played their cricket. Ishan Kishan moves on from Mumbai Indians, and he is picked for a pretty steep amount, 11.25 crores. It's a great buy, no doubt about it. And if Ishan Kishan can get his head in the right place, he can make a big impact. The question here is that I didn't expect them to go for such a big buy. I thought they would have gone for someone, maybe a Nitish Rana kind of a player, but they've gone for Ishan Kishan. That's great buy. Heinrich Klaassen is there already as a wicket keeper, but it's whoever will play between the two. It's there to be seen. Nitish Reddy comes in at 4. Heinrich Klaassen down the order. Heinrich Klaassen retained for 23 crores, the highest for any player in the retention. No longer the highest because of the prices that Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant went for. So these five pretty formidable top 5. Abhinav Manohar, I can see him get a prolonged run here, and he has to deliver. He's obviously very good. Anyone who's followed his performance in the domestic circuit and in the Karnataka Premier League, they've only had good words to say about him. He strikes. He's capable of hitting the ball a long way. He scores very freely and quickly. Abhinav Manohar, he could have a pretty big impact down the order, so that's a pretty good selection. Uh, this is number 7 is a concern. Like they have Sachin Baby and Atharva Taide to choose from, and I'm assuming if you're not going with 3 batters in the first 11, and Sachin Baby is an experienced player. He's probably most suited to playing in the lower order. Atharva Taide has done well in the past, has a good record in the domestic circuit. Not really shown that in the IPL so far, but he's a good record in the domestic circuit. Has just played quite well in a few games recently. But Atharva Taide most suited again to play up the order. is he someone they're looking at as a number seven? They'll have to figure this out. Uh, I mean, you bring him in the top order, which means you're also delaying the entry of some of your more aggressive players. So I mean, you break up him, bring Ishan at four, and you eventually bring Heinrich Klaassen. You don't want to delay the entry of your hard-hitting middle order players. So this is a bit of a question mark and I'll come to the dilemma that might come in with the domestic overseas combination on the basis of this. Um, Pat Cummins, his batting is also very good, but as a bowler and as a captain, he's an automatic selection, and you don't really look beyond him. Harshal Patel, uh, another new franchise for him, did very well last year, leading wicket taker last year. Has a very unique bowling style. Will it work in the Hyderabad conditions? Mohammad Shami coming off an injury, but again, great selection. I think there's no doubt about that, and I think he's again proven himself. He's again just rising to the occasion every year. So I hope he does well after his injury. He missed last season, but Mohammad Shami, I don't think there's too much you have to argue against his credentials. I think he's him, Pat Cummins, Harshal Patel, good pace bowling attack. Adam Zampa would be my fourth. This is only my selection. I don't think this is what's going to happen eventually, but this is my selection. Adam Zampa is an interesting case. Adam Zampa's association with the IPL hasn't been great. He played 2016 and 17 with the Rising Pune Super Giants. He did decently those 2 years with them. But then it's been a very colorful association with him after that. He was with RCB in 2020, where he played a few games, but of course, again, that combination has to be looked into. And then in 21, when the COVID broke out and things weren't all right, he created a bit of a stir with his comments about the bio bubble and the situation in India, and obviously those were harsh comments. He even went up and said, I don't care if I lose my career as a result of this. He was picked for Rajasthan Royals, where he didn't really get to play because they already had two quality spinners in Ashwin and Chahal. But I think now with Daniel Vittori as the coach and Pat Cummins as the captain, I think they'll assure Zampa that they'll give him that game time. And I think that's very important. So Zampa in full flow is one of the best spinners in the shorter version of the game. And if he wants to give himself that opportunity to come and play, I think he'll be really, really effective. So that's one of the reasons I have Zampa in the playing 11. And my impact player, again, depending on the conditions, Rahul Chahar or Simarjeet Singh, I actually would look into Simarjeet Singh for the simple reason that Cummins doesn't bowl with a new ball. I'll have him to bowl a few overs in the death. Harshal Patel doesn't bowl with a new ball. So I actually, whether Simarjeet Singh comes in the death or not, I don't think he'll be used as a death bowler, but I actually want Simarjeet Singh in the power play. And that's going to be very crucial if Simarjeet Singh can come in the power play and make that impact. So Simarjeet Singh has been bowling decently for in domestic circuit for Delhi. So Simarjeet Singh is I have him ahead of the more established player in Rahul Chahar, because Rahul Chahar is good, but I on a slowish wicket, of course, Rahul Chahar. But I'm not ruling out Simarjeet Singh playing a few games. On the subs, Kamindu Mendes, he's a sensation, but Kamindu Mendes in T20 is a bit of a question mark. Strike rate of 123 in T20Is, 128 in T20s. His best batting position would be number 4. That's also a bit of a risk for everyone else. Apart from that, there's Jaydev Unadkat, there is a spinner Zishan Ansari, Aniket Verma. The other foreigners are Bryden Carson, Ishan Malinga. Ishan Malinga, there was a pretty, there was a longish tussle for him. But this will only probably be a case if Cummins is unavailable. But I think on the whole, it's there are holes in the team, but I think the impact player and the subs and everything will get Hyderabad through. Well led by Patrick Cummins, their top order is explosive. Bowling could have been better. An extra Indian batter could have done with another Indian batter, especially someone who can come and play at number 7. But apart from that, it's a decent auction for Hyderabad, I would say. Thank you.